You always expect something from the Democrats. If they don't get what they want on the Mueller report, they're going to ask for the taxes. If they don't get what they want on the taxes, they'll ask for something else. So it doesn't surprise anybody. But keep in mind, they knew they're not going to get these taxes. They know what the law is. They know that one of the fundamental principles of the IRS is to protect the confidentiality of you and me and everybody else who files taxes. They know that. They know the terms under law by which the IRS can give them the documents. But political hit job is not one of those reasons. So they know they're not going to get it.
To be clear, you believe Democrats will never see the president's tax returns?
Oh, no, never. No, nor should they. Keep in mind that that's an issue that was already litigated during the election. Voters knew the president could have given his tax returns. They knew that he didn't, and they elected him anyway, which, of course, is what drives the Democrats crazy. But they know they're not going to get this. They just want the attention on the issue because they don't want to talk to us about policy.
This is Trump's chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, offering a full-throated defense of Trump's decision to fight the Democrats' formal request of 6 years of his tax returns from the IRS. And Mulvaney tries every angle possible. First, he claims that the request made by Democratic House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Neal was not legal, which is not true. The request was made in compliance with an IRS code that states that the president's tax returns are subject to mandatory examination and that the responsibility falls on the committee to determine the scope of such examination. And Neal himself said, "I am certain that we are within our legitimate legislative, legal, and oversight rights." So for Mulvaney to state that somehow the request isn't legal isn't exactly airtight. But worse than that, Mulvaney then claims that the matter was already litigated during the election, and that by virtue of winning the presidency by 3 million votes less than his opponent, that was somehow a mandate to put the issue to rest. Except if we're actually splitting hairs here, Trump did promise to release his tax returns after he was done being audited, according to his claim. That doesn't mean it goes away after the election. It means if he had a modicum of integrity, he would do what he said. Otherwise, it might look like he considered the election license to just say whatever lie was necessary to get elected. And if it wasn't already bad enough that Trump outright refused to release his tax returns after saying he would right after the audit was finished, when the issue resurfaced, Trump fell back on the same lie, as if we don't already know what the outcome of this is.
We're under audit, despite what people said, and we're working that out.
Now, typically, attorneys would advise against releasing tax returns, but only because it invites added scrutiny. That doing so would allow the public to possibly find something that the IRS may have missed. And during the campaign, Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, did say that it was his decision not to release Trump's tax returns, saying that no lawyer would suggest his client do so, but later clarified during testimony to Congress that it wasn't because he was under audit, but because he didn't want the extra scrutiny. Now, in fairness, Trump's claim that he's currently under audit may have some truth. The IRS made it a regular practice to audit presidents since the days of the Nixon administration, after both he and his vice president were embroiled in tax scandals. But still, that never stopped any of Trump's predecessors, including Obama and George W. Bush, from doing so. In other words, there is absolutely no legal reason why Trump cannot release his tax returns and why Democrats wouldn't be able to request them. But that won't stop this administration from twisting itself into pretzels trying to claim otherwise. Of course, it really shouldn't matter as long as there's nothing to hide, right?